We are back on the Morning Brew with friends, and this is really cool. We've got Mangesh and Rajat here from the Albuquerque Cricket Club.
Yes.
That's really awesome, with Larry Gallegos from Bernco County. And you guys are doing some awesome stuff, so that means it's time for Bernco on the Brew.
Love it, love it, love it.
I love our little graphic.
It's cool, man.
And you guys at Bernco County helped these guys build a cricket pitch.
Well, yes, over at Mesa del Sol, and it's over at 5601 University. Basically, there's at the south end of the parking lot there at the amphitheater.
Right there by where the Little League fields are, or the soccer fields?
There are the Yaffle fields, actually.
Yaffle fields.
And these folks came to us at the county and said, we'd like to put a cricket pitch up and work together, and took out a big chunk of grass and put in concrete, and then put artificial turf on top of that, and that's where they do the bowl, as they call it. It's not a pitch; it's a bowl.
Right.
And they, I don't have the arm to do it. I don't think I could do it.
I think very few people have the arm to do it, right?
But yeah, so
I didn't even know there was a cricket club in Albuquerque. I know that there's a big interest in it. You know, when I was in college, I'd go with some friends and we'd go to the pizza place and they'd play some of the games. That would last like 4 days. They don't do that anymore. The games don't last like marathon. They're not really marathon games anymore.
Well, that's one version of the game.
Okay.
Where it lasts for five days. But then there are shorter versions which last for 3 hours or 6 hours.
Okay.
So depending on how many people want to play for how long, it's changes.
The professionals will go for days and days.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this cricket game, that you don't have to play the international version of it.
Right.
You can actually tune it to your needs and play whatever time you want.
That's very cool. Very cool. So how did you guys get started playing cricket yourselves?
I started playing when I was like 10, 11. And
you're
in
from-
India, I'm from Mumbai.
Mumbai originally, and you're from New Delhi.
I'm from New Delhi.
And how's this like is it like the national sport of India?
It
is.
Everybody I've ever known from India just loves cricket. It's a thing.
Yeah, so national sports of India is actually field hockey, but
okay.
everybody loves cricket in India, and almost like 99% of Indians, they played cricket once in their life. So,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like baseball here.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's kind of similar rules in some ways, right? You have to hit the ball with the bat, and you have to run and everything. But what are the basic rules even for cricket? I think a lot of us around the studio this morning, we were all realizing how little we knew about it.
I'll give you a quick, this thing, that's a ball.
Right.
That's a bat.
I gathered that much.
So there's a person who's going to throw this to the batter.
And they bounce it.
And they bounce it.
Right, and that's why the field had to be done special. That's why Bernco County had to step up and put in some special turf for you guys,
the concrete
right?
and the turf,
Yeah.
so the ball bounces.
Because when the ball hits the pitch, we call it a pitch, it can move in a different direction, or you can actually spin it, and that makes it really interesting. And in cricket, we only have one inning. So if you get out, you're out
done.
for the rest of the game.
So for the next 18 hours, you could be sitting on the sideline.
Not really, but yeah,
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours, yes. Yes.
So yeah, well, just like in baseball, you want to throw that, that knuckleball or whatever, so it'll spin.
Yeah.
And you do
So-
that, but when you bounce it, it actually can make the ball go off in different directions. But then you got to hit it, but you hit it with like a downward stroke. Am I right?
Yes.
That's one of the ways you can hit it any way you want, as
However-
long as you're successful.
Okay, great. And then from there, what do you do? Once say you hit the ball.
Okay. So there is a difference between baseball and cricket. In
Right.
cricket, you don't have to run each time you hit the ball. You will see where the ball is going, and if it is away from the fielder, and if you think you can make it to the other end, then only you'll run. Otherwise, you can just stay there, let that ball go down, and that's it.
Okay, and you're not out.
No,
You're
you're
not
not
out.
out.
It's basically 2 bases instead of 4 as in baseball. So you just run between the 2 bases.
Okay.
And as many times you can run during the game.
Each time the first person goes to the second base and second person comes to the first base, it's called one run. And there are limited number of throws you can throw in a game. And based on that, how many runs you scored, the other team has to score one more extra
Okay.
in order to win.
Perfect. So do you need a huge field for this? Is this the kind of thing that you need something that is 100 yards wide, or do you?
Yeah, 100 yards wide sounds about right. But the thing is, cricket field is circular.
Okay.
So usually the boundary line, we call it a boundary line. If the ball goes beyond that, with the bounces, there are a couple of bounces on the field, then we call it as a 4 runs.
Okay.
And if it goes directly like a home run, we call it a 6 run.
Okay.
And usually that boundary is around 60 meters. That is approximately 100 yards.
So this is not a small endeavor for Bernco County, is it then, Larry?
No,
If it's that large a field.
Well, the nice thing is, again, we put it between, there are Yaffle fields out there, And actually, the Yaffle folks are really excited about being part of this.
I'm sure, yeah.
thing. But for the pitch is in between the two fields, and then when they mark out the circular area, that'll go on to the football fields.
Yeah.
And eventually, we want to build more fields out there, more cricket fields, because it's a great economic impact for the county, because they'll have teams coming in from the area, and as their tournaments get more and more popular, they might have people coming from, further away, East Coast, West Coast, So it's really a great thing, and we're excited to be a part of it. And of course, again, this Saturday, 10 o'clock, we're having the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Is that the first game?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What teams are playing?
It will be a tournament. There are 4 teams featured in this tournament.
So how many teams are in the club then?
So here's the thing. We wanted to incorporate everybody in this area because Albuquerque is central to New Mexico.
Right.
And there are so many cricket teams, small cricket teams around this area. There is a team in Clovis. There are a couple of teams in Socorro, teams in El Paso, Santa Fe. So we wanted to put Albuquerque as a main Albuquerque Cricket
hub.
Club as a hub.
Yes, the hub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we will invite all these guys to play a tournament here.
So what team are you guys most worried about? Is it the guys from Socorro or Clovis or Santa Fe?
You're not worried about anybody.
Yes.
I love that attitude.
Yeah.
Well, what's your team called? You're not just Albuquerque Cricket Club. You got to have a name, right?
We haven't come up with a name. We thought of going with the Albuquerque Cricket Club.
I think the Morning Brew sounds like a great name for a
We'll
cricket
keep that in
brew.
consideration.
Right?
Thank you.
Yes, the Morning Brew Cricket Club. I think that would be the most awesome cricket. I think you could be coffee fueled. That would be great. So in the club, do you guys just invite anybody to go in and learn, and do you have classes and things, or do you expect people to come in and
Plan
know?
on starting that as well, like a youth soccer club kind of thing,
Right.
where we can teach anybody who wants their kids to learn a little bit about cricket. We are more than happy to teach them.
Very cool. And do you still have to wake up at 4 in the morning to see the international games, or do they show them now at some better
It
times?
depends. If you want to watch them live, then yeah.
Yeah.
And if they are played in India, then yeah, you'll have to wake up at around 12 o'clock at night or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Because they start like at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock our time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the coolest game you guys ever saw? The best cricket game ever?
Well, I remember the latest one was in 2011 when India won the World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who'd they beat?
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. Was it one of those games that everybody was just on the edge of their seats for like
Yes,
days?
yes.
I took a day off for next day that because I'll be watching the game all night, so I won't be able to work. So I took a day off.
You're just like, sorry guys, cricket's on.
Exactly.
Well, my friends do that for football all the time. Yeah. Football, baseball, Formula One racing. My buddies do all that stuff too. Yeah, it's great. They I'm not coming into work because there's something going on.
One of the other great things that they were telling me about is they want to form a New Mexico Cricket League.
Yes.
Because, and eventually, again, those kind of a league like that could bring in. Oh, let's have a tournament against the California League. Let's have whatever. And so the growth potential for this is just fantastic.
And we're starting with one pitch, but maybe we'll have more and more.
Well,
and more,
we've
right?
already pretty much said we're going to put in additional two more.
Two
out
more.
there.
Yes.
How many do you need? How many is the ideal number?
It depends on how many teams are interested in playing the game.
Right.
So if suppose we have like 7 or 8 teams who are interested, so in each team there will be 11 players
Okay.
who are actually playing the game.
So there'll be 22 people on the field at once.
Yes.
And it's a men's and women's sport too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And so you can have, the more pitches, the more people we have on the field, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan. Well, this is
Dan,
great.
Take a look at that bat.
And I'm loving this too. These are they designed for minimal drag? Is that what this is? It's
Correct.
like it's
And
like
the
a
maximum
boat.
power you can get with the swing. So that's the design.
Very cool.
And it also depends, like the kind of wood.
Uh-huh.
It's like this is, for example, this is a Kashmir willow. That's like an Indian specialty wood.
Right.
Then a better version, I wouldn't say better. Some people like this. Some people like the English willow, which is this one. So it's all player's choice basically.
Right.
What kind of the weight, the length, and everything is dependent on the player.
Right. Well, just like I like my Louisville Slugger baseball bat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing.
The Dan Mayfield model, right?
Right. That's exactly it. It's really short. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. Right. Rock Your Mox is up next. We're gonna learn all about some of the coolest events coming up in November on the Morning Brew with Friends.